Hey guys, I'm seeing a really common trend recently with dogs that have anxiety issues, and the anxiety is coming back tenfold. And there's different reasons for it. I mean, there's always going to be depending on your dog, but the two biggest reasons that I think happens is one of two things. One is a schedule change or a stress change in your life. That could be an actual time change. Maybe your work schedule has tweaked a bit, or maybe you've been under extra stress for a few weeks at work. Okay, something that changes the dynamic in the household, either energy wise because you're changed, or the schedule has changed. My dogs get a lot of mixed up stuff in their day, and it's on purpose because my schedule's different every day. So even if I have like a week where things are fairly normal, we still purposely try to throw stuff in. Sometimes we won't play fetch even if we have time. The next day we play fetch, walk at a different time, downtime at a different time, fed at a different time. This is to keep my dogs resilient. You don't have to go that crazy, but I do want you to be really aware that any change in your schedule, even if you just stay at work an hour late a few nights in a row, you can see anxiety come back in your dog potentially. So even if your dog's gotten in a really good place, as soon as something changes, the littlest thing, your kid's going back to school, your kid's staying home from school, so many little things that could happen. You need to tighten back up your structure because that's what helps them cope, to have that schedule to hold on to. Now you can mix up your schedule, like I mentioned before, but it has all the pieces to it. So if your dog was now free roaming in the home, maybe there's no more free roaming for a couple of weeks. You go back to place and crate rotation and maybe a little bit of extra constructive walking, just to kind of take the edge off of any anxiety. Or maybe you haven't been doing any work inside with your dog and you add 15 minutes of indoor work 3 times a week. These little things can go a really, really long way in helping your dog cope. The last thing I'll say about that is make sure in this time of stress for you, or just a minor schedule change for the dog, that you pull back on how much free affection you're giving your dog, and pull back on any affection you're giving your dog when your dog is excited. Now that's different than you creating excitement and then you calming your dog back down. Okay, so not to be confused with those two things. Finally, the last one, the other reason is because, dogs they're just having it good. They're just having the good life. They're doing great. They just get a walk a day. They're just lazing about, no big deal. And that's been the case for a month or 2 months. They've been good dogs, so they're getting to make lots of choices and nap when they want to nap and where they want to nap and just chilling and hanging out. But then something challenging happens. Maybe it's out of nowhere. Maybe it's a neighbor dog behind a fence gets out. Maybe it's someone coming over. Maybe you decide to just take your dog somewhere. So your dog's coping skills, they've been kind of diluted because they've had an easy time. The same happens with people. We get soft and we don't handle stress as well. Or we're not as physically tough or mentally tough because we haven't been actively practicing that even in our easy times. So keep that in mind with your dog. When your dog is just having an easy time and not being challenged, you're not seeking out challenges, and then one pops up, they might not handle it so well, and then that can cause a spiral. So anyway, keep those things in mind, guys, and hopefully you can prevent that happening to you.